Good morning. This boat is ready for an early start. So back in Galilee after that little quick stop in Jerusalem for some meetings. Today we have strong messages, beautiful messages. And it's interesting contrast that the psalm, which is responding to the first reading, a prayerful response to the first reading, let all the earth cry out to God with joy. But the reading is about a persecution of the church following the death of Stephen. And why would all the earth cry out to God with joy? Do you know how a redwood tree, those huge trees, they're so big sometimes that they're able to cut a tunnel through the tree for a road? Enormous trees. And how the redwood seed germinates. Apparently it takes a forest fire of redwoods that must burn with amazing intensity to crack open the seeds so they can germinate. This is part of nature. And the chicken can't come out unless the shell is broken from the egg. And the seed falls in the ground and dies to bring forth new plants, new fruit. This is even from Jesus' own words and from our observation of nature. The seed must fall in the ground and die. And what happens through the persecution is something that was obviously not intended by the authorities, and somehow humanity makes the same mistakes over and over again. There are people who don't agree with us, and sometimes we human beings come down incredibly hard on them. There has to be another way. And in this case, and in many other cases in history, coming down hard on the new proposal that's being launched actually produces the opposite effect and becomes an instrument of promoting what is being sought to be suppressed. And so the apostles, because of the persecution, are forced out of Jerusalem, and they have the good sense to leave. And they go forth not cowardly, but they go forth proclaiming the good news of the resurrection and of forgiveness and reconciliation. As in the end of Matthew's Gospel, go to the whole world and proclaim the good news. Just because there's persecution of the church, of the Christian message, it doesn't negate the wonderful lines we read today in the Gospel. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never hunger. Whoever believes in me will never thirst. I came down from heaven to do my own, not to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. I just noticed here that this is taking time to blossom. It's very rich in foliage, but we haven't seen it flowering as much. But that time will also come for sure, or at least I expect so. I don't see any flower buds yet. Who knows when they will start? I've not come to do my own will, but the will of the one who sent me. This is the will of my Father, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have eternal life. And I shall raise him on the last day. And this great conviction expressed in John's Gospel that we're reading, John chapter 6, this famous conversation that happens over in the synagogue in Capernaum. At the end of the chapter we'll say that, and Jesus said these things in the synagogue of Capernaum, and it's great to be there with pilgrims reading that. And then you say, where are we? We're in the synagogue at Capernaum reading this text. So now the word spreads all over. And there we can go back to our psalm, that all the earth cry out to God with joy. Because the message of salvation, of life, of eternal life, of forgiveness, of the love of the Father has been communicated. It's growing worldwide, all over, not being kept in Jerusalem only. Let all the earth cry out to God with joy. And all the birds here are singing here in the background. A whole bunch over there on the roof there of the little house. But all over, the birds are very active and singing right now. People, I hope there's rejoicing and crying out to God with joy in your part of the earth where you live, in your kitchen, in your village, in your town, in your family, extended family. God bless you. See you later, alligators. Let all the earth cry out to God with joy.